So what have I got now? This is a 1985 Mercedes 300D. It's turbo diesel, 5-cylinder. It's the OM617, I think. It's got 147,000 miles on it, but it is rough. And I just stumbled across it on Facebook Marketplace, and I stumbled across another one, one that they were asking $500 for, and I went and looked at it. And body-wise, it was all right. It was straight, and the paint was decent on it, but it had a quarter-size rust hole right here, and a bunch of silicone on this side, so it probably had an even bigger hole over on here, and it was very rusty underneath. You could tell it hadn't been in road salt or anything like that. The floor pans were just gone in it. This one's got some rust in the floor pans. It's still pretty solid. It's solid enough that I don't know if I'd need to patch it with metal. It's got a few little holes, rust holes, and in the floor pan, and the only spot on the body is right there. But I went and looked at it. I went and looked at that other one, and it was $500. It was a 240D, the 4-cylinder. I think it's the OM616. It was 82 or 83, and it had 337,000 miles. Engine was just covered in oil, and the clutch was out on it. I think it was actually probably the clutch slave cylinder, but the battery was dead on it. I raised the hood. There were 2 giant wasp nests under the hood, so I really couldn't do much with it. But when I saw the rust, the floor pans were just completely gone on it, I walked away from it. This one, the guy had 850 on it, and I went and looked at it, and I knew the paint, looking by the pictures, the paint was gone on it. But I held out for a decent body, but it's got dents and dings all over it, and the interior is just trashed in it. Mainly just grungy and grimy, but it's, whatever, I offered the guy I walked away from it, and he asked me to make an offer on it. I was like $200, and he came back with 500. I walked away from it and got to thinking about it, that it runs good, it drives, the vacuum pump is out on it. That's a pretty cheap and easy fix. So the power brakes, all that kind of stuff is not working on it. But we settled on $400, and I figured for $400 it runs and it drives, it was worth it. So here it is. I'll start it up. You can see the trail of oil that's left and the puddle underneath it. It's leaking from the passenger side. I'm guessing it's probably going to be the turbo line is leaking. So let's start it up. I'm sure this thing has had no maintenance done to it in forever, but it runs and drives. It does it. The brakes work, but with no vacuum, it stops hard. And the power steering wasn't working. I just added some fluid to it when I got home, and it started working. It's got good oil pressure, it runs cool. The interior is just, it's gone in it. It might clean up. It's going to need a driver's seat And since the vacuum pump's working, it doesn't cut off on its own. So you have to do the manual cut off on it under the hood. But yeah, the seats are gone, the springs are gone, but it runs good, you know, and that's the only reason I got it. The engine's good, the transmission's good. It doesn't really have much blow by. I mean, it's got just a little bit, but they all do. You know, it's a good engine. And so I don't know. I got it, and we'll see what I end up doing with it. You know, whether I keep it or just kind of fix it and sell it. But we'll get the vacuum pump working and kind of go from there. Before you can really street drive it, it needs to have better brakes on it. See, like this door panel, this will clean up, and they've got that one over there, I think, to try to fix the power windows. But it's grungy, dirty, but other than the driver's seat and the wood, the interior's in good shape. It's got, most of them you see, the dashes are all cracked up. It's got 2 little cracks in it, or a couple little cracks in it. And you know, the fenders, the hood, the trunk, everything's good really, except 3 of the doors have all these little whiskey dents all over them. So, you know, I could straighten that out with some Bondo and give it a coat of paint, you know. And I don't know, I haven't really decided in my head yet where I want to go with it, you know, what I want to do to it. If I want to, you know, completely fix it up, I'll probably just get it running and driving, see how I like driving it, drive it around a little bit, and if I like it, I'll go ahead and maybe put the effort into it to fix it up a little more. But we'll start off, first project will be getting the vacuum system working on it, and get some good brakes on it, get it where it'll cut off with the key, all that kind of stuff. You know, anyway, I'm rambling. That's it, and there'll be some videos coming up on it. So thanks for watching.